You're watching Learn Spanish with Kunal, and in this video, I want to tell you about how I acquired Spanish as a foreign language. It all started when I was in the final year of BCom. I was pursuing my chartered accountancy studies at the same time, and I had failed intermediate at this point of time, I think twice. And once that happened for the second time, I decided this is simply not for me, and that's when I was just left with BCom. So I was pursuing BCom in the final year, this was the third year, and at that point of time, I somehow came across an institute which taught Spanish. I was walking one day and I just saw the board of the institute and I went inside. The receptionist there told me that this is an institute where they teach Spanish. It got my interest and I just asked him when is the next batch due to start. He told me the timings and that's when I started it. That's how I got started. I didn't have a million questions in my head as to why should I learn Spanish, what are the benefits, what can happen. I simply had some free time with me while I was pursuing my BCom degree and I thought this would be the best application of that time. So that's when I decided to join this course. Fast forward, in the year 2017, I appeared for the advanced examinations, C1, the Delhi exams, and I was able to clear those exams. So, between 2014 and 2017, I want to tell you what happened. Maybe you might be inspired by the story and decide to slug it out because learning a foreign language takes a lot of consistency, discipline, and dedication. Anyone who tells you otherwise is simply not telling you the whole truth. So I joined in 2014 and after 2 or 3 levels, I think it was level 3, I needed to pause for a while because I had my university exams. I had BCom exams and I needed to appear for those exams. So I took a small break from class for preparing for my BCom exams. Once my BCom exams were over, I resumed classes. I think it was level 4 in that class, if I'm not mistaken. And the classroom environment was really amazing. The director at that institute was a lady from Spain who had her postgraduate degree in teaching Spanish as a foreign language. And she had trained the teachers there really well, and that's what kept me going to those classes at that point of time. There was a great environment, as in the institute where I went to learn had the best teachers in my opinion. I mean, I haven't studied under many other teachers so I can't say, but to my knowledge those were the best teachers I've ever had and they have played a role in helping me acquire Spanish as a foreign language. So I remember level 4, I had a teacher from Mexico who used to teach Spanish, and in her class we had to pick Latin American names for ourselves. So I decided my name would be Juan of all people, and I enjoyed that a lot. And it was at this point of time that I got a job in calling. I was working in recruitment at that point of time, and this had nothing to do with Spanish as such. So that was a job that didn't pay a lot. So with very little amount of money that I did have, I was able to save it and pay for the fees of the class, and that's how I could continue. Now at the time, the classes used to be really far away. I was living in Thane in Mumbai, it's on the outskirts, and I had to take a train and I had to reach these classes in Matunga at that point of time, which was about, let's say, an hour or an hour and a half. And the train station was 20 minutes away from my place, as in to get from my house to the train station used to take 20 minutes. I used to go there by rickshaw. Finally reached the train station, then I would get down and walk. There used to be a really long bridge from Matunga east to Matunga west, so I had to walk that long bridge, and finally when you would descend the bridge in Matunga west, the classes were there. Soon at some point of time those classes changed. They went from Matunga to Bandra. So Bandra is even further away. So now I had to travel from Thane to Dadar, and at Dadar I had to change stations, and from Dadar I had to go back to Matunga. So that made it even longer. And it was at this point of time when the classes were in Bandra that someone in my class, a classmate at that point of time, told me there was a job opening in her company. There was a calling requirement for people who spoke Spanish, and that's when I jumped at that chance. I went to the place of work. That time I gave an interview in Spanish. With whatever level I had, I was deemed good enough and I was able to get the job. So I shifted from working in recruitment and going into calling. So that was a job that was in a BPO, so to speak, and it was a night shift. So Monday to Friday I had to work night shifts, and I chose the Saturday Sunday batch, and that lasted about 11 months, you could say. So it was a really intense time, but the job that I held in the call center really helped improve my speaking skills a lot. I was balancing theory, which is textbooks and teaching in the classroom, with practical knowledge, that is communicating on the phone in the call center with clients who were primarily from Mexico, mainly from Mexico and other Spanish speaking countries too. So I kind of picked up a Mexican accent, though I still retain my Indian accent while speaking Spanish. Often I've heard people who speak Spanish say I sound a bit Mexican, so I take that as a compliment. And at this point of time, I might have appeared directly for the B2 exams. Generally, people who wish to appear for competitive exams in Spanish appear for these exams called DELE exams, and they're divided into A1, A2, which is beginner, B1, B2, which is intermediate, and C1, C2, which is advanced. And at this point of time, I decided directly to appear for the B2 exams on the advanced